The NFL just got done voting on potentially banning the tush push, and while there weren't enough votes to officially ban the play, the Chiefs were one of the teams that were in favor of banning the tush push. So in this video, I'm going to give my thoughts and reactions to this move and break down what it means for the entire NFL in 2025 and beyond. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy and you are watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. I do want to go ahead and share my screen. This is a tweet coming from Adam Schefter. The NFL needed 24 votes today to officially ban the tush push, but only got 22 votes. Here are the 10 teams that voted against the tush push ban per sources. Of course, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Browns, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans. These are the 10 teams, according to Adam Schefter, that voted against a potential tush push ban. Now, I do want to go ahead and show this graphic that I made showing a tweet from Matt Derrick. Moderately surprised Chiefs were a yes for banning the tush push. Clark Hunt seemed open to either direction, though. I'm told the organization was very torn on the decision. It wasn't necessarily a clear-cut choice. So according to Matt Derrick, the Chiefs were one of the teams that voted to ban the tush push. And as you can see in this graphic, the Eagles ran that a lot against the Chiefs in both Super Bowls. But I'm not trying to make this video to say that, not banning the tush push was a good thing, or the fact that it didn't get banned is a bad thing, because I view the tush push as a play that just the Eagles run better than everybody else. Like, they're just very good at running this specific offensive play. Jalen Hurts is one of the strongest quarterbacks in the NFL. They've got Saquon Barkley, and they've got a great offensive line. And it's just a play that when you get all of those things together, yeah, they're going to be very successful. But I do think that there is a little bit of discussion that there should be almost some, moderating to the play, or not moderating, but you almost need to, look at it and just say, okay, we don't have a problem necessarily with the tush push itself. The issue is, when does forward progress come into effect? Because I've seen guys basically be tackled down, and then that final push after forward progress should have been called, they get the first down. That's the problem I have with the play. The tush push itself, I don't have a huge issue with. It's not a super exciting play to watch, but I think that the NFL shouldn't demonize, the Eagles for being great at it. Now, should they absolutely maybe tamper with it and, really clarify when forward progress happens? Yes, but that's just with every football play. So I think that it is interesting to see that the Chiefs, voted to ban this. I do want to go ahead and show this graphic that the Eagles actually posted on their social. They actually said push on, and it kind of just, a savage way of responding to the fact that the tush push was not going to be banned. But again, I don't think you have to punish the Eagles for them being good at something. But I do want to kind of mention that the Chiefs are no stranger to rules being changed because of them. So while I'm out here saying that, the Eagles shouldn't be punished for being good at, this one particular thing, the Chiefs have been punished. You know how many times the Buffalo Bills have complained about losing to the Chiefs in one fashion or another, whether it was not getting the ball in overtime in the playoffs? They immediately changed that rule. But when the Chiefs came to them, after losing that AFC Championship game to the Patriots, all the other NFL owners were silent. We didn't hear a single thing. And so it's interesting to see that almost rules have been created and formed. That AFC Championship game against Buffalo this year, when Josh Allen supposedly had a first down, they're already trying to figure out ways to, get that to be something that the NFL changes. So it almost seems like when the Buffalo Bills lose to the Chiefs, the rules have to be changed. But I don't think that if we just look around the rest of the NFL, no other team gets rules changed, because of their play more than the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, yeah, I don't think the tush push should be banned. I don't think it's a super exciting play. One of the issues that I did have was that, the Eagles owner was talking about how it's one of the safest plays in football. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. I mean, the most safe play in football would be a QB kneel. Like, that's probably the safest, but there's a lot of risk involved with the tush push because, you're putting so many guys on the line of scrimmage that when they collide with each other, these are 400-pound men. It's going to cause damage. And in fact, there was that Chris Jones injury that happened in the Super Bowl when they were trying to line up to defend the tush push, where Chris Jones laid sideways and just tried to, be a barrier in the way. It didn't end up working, but I do think it's interesting that, we're trying to say that it's one of the safest plays in football when that's just not the case. They even brought out Jason Kelce to talk about it, and I'm sure he was probably like, hey, this should not be banned, but hey, he's a former Eagle. So I do want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. What do you think of the tush push not being banned? And what do you think about the Chiefs voting to ban the tush push? I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Is this a play you think should be banned? I do want to talk more about that, and we're going to do that right after this ad break. This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. Have you been injured in an accident? You may be entitled to significant compensation, but you gotta act quick. Trust the skilled personal injury lawyers at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's leading injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury firm backed by a large support staff of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. With over $600 million recovered for thousands of clients, DM Law isn't afraid to take your case all the way to trial. The best part, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law works on a contingency fee basis, meaning that you do not pay a single thing unless they win your case. Plus, they offer free consultations. If you've been injured, don't wait. You can call DM Law today for a free consultation and find out how they can help you get the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on recovery. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. With offices in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado, DM Law is here to serve you. You can call them or visit them online today to schedule your free consultation. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thank you to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Huge thanks to all the sponsors that support this channel all off-season long. They truly are the best. But getting back into the main portion of this video, when we talk about banning the tush push, I think we really need to consider what this would mean for the rest of the NFL. Because while the Eagles do it the best, other teams do it. They just might not be as successful as the Eagles. In fact, a perfect example of the tush push not going well was in that AFC Championship game against the Bills. I'm gonna reference it again. In the most recent AFC Championship game, Josh Allen had 2 chances to get 2 or 3 yards on 3rd and 4th down, and the Chiefs stopped Josh Allen on multiple 4th downs. Like that is an example of the Chiefs stopping the tush push. And the Chiefs stopped the tush push in the first Super Bowl. I think they actually did in that last Super Bowl, but my memory's a little bit hazy because let's just say I've tried to block that out of my memory as best as I possibly could. But I do think that we shouldn't be punishing teams for being good at something, because if you hate the tush push so much, stop it. The Chiefs have done it. The Chiefs have stopped the tush push. And I think that if you just look at it, the Chiefs have not lost because of the tush push. They've lost because of, offensive line issues, but they've been pretty good defensively at stopping this move. Now, some teams haven't been so lucky, but other teams aren't on the Eagles' caliber. The Eagles are just better than most other teams, but the Chiefs haven't had the same amount of, struggles against the tush push that other teams have had. So yeah, I think the play is boring. I think the play is probably, something that more injuries happen from, but I'm not necessarily an advocate for banning it because I don't think we should punish teams for doing something well. Just like the Lions tried to come out, and I actually just saw that they revoked it, but they tried to change the playoff format, basically saying that, if you're a team that wins 13, 14 games, you have to get a home playoff game, or basically saying that you shouldn't be a wild card team. But that's just tough luck. Like, if you were really upset that you had to be a wild card team, and it was actually the Vikings that were the wild card team, guess what? Win more games in the regular season. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the NFL should not be bending rules to accommodate certain teams. And I think that, while this one did not end up passing, they didn't get enough votes. There was, I think, let me check again. They needed 24 votes. They got 22. There were a lot of teams out there that believed that the tush push should be banned. And also a lot that believe that it shouldn't be banned. But there's a reason why this is going to be, around in 2025 and potentially the future. So I do want to hear from you guys down in the comments section below. What do you think of the tush push not being banned, and how do you think that's going to affect the Chiefs in 2025? I would love to see the Chiefs adopt this, because if the Eagles can do it so well with the Chiefs offensive line, I think that they could absolutely do it successfully. But ever since Patrick Mahomes got hurt in Denver a couple of years ago, there's been no quarterback sneak. There's been no tush push. There's been nothing that involves Patrick Mahomes, getting in a dog pile. So that's all the time I have in this video, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs content. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.